Ooh, I love how it sparkles. We're gonna go ahead and staple it on though. They are wired. So I'm gonna glue that down and then I'm going to start wrapping it. Early or late, I'm not sure which I am. So it is time to start creating Christmas. Y'all have been asking, waiting. Thank you so much for that. So I hope I can come up and share some ideas. I have been collecting ideas all year long. When I would see a picture, I would screenshot it and I'm like, okay, then I would start gathering for stuff. So my first one is going to be with this. So I ordered these off of Amazon. They're like wedding decor, but we are going to create it into Christmas decor. So what would you do with this? Yes, this is just a round metal form that fits into this form. But of course we can't just leave it looking like this. Yes, because as one you'll see it'll fall over to begin with. So we'll deal with that first. And then we'll do something on this outer ring. My first thing I'm going to do, this is not going to be removable. This is going to be permanent. So I'm just going to put a bead of hot glue. And that's squish it in there. So now we're going to take this frame and we're going to start wrapping pipe cleaners, Christmas colors, silver. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue to get it started. And then just butt it up the entire time right next to each other. Then when I get to the stopping point, a little bit more glue, wrap it around, a little bit more glue, and then we'll just work around this until I get it done. So I'm keep on working all the way down. Did I count my pipe cleaners? No, I did not. As I'm getting to the end, you can tell that I'm not going to need the whole pipe cleaner. So I will probably just cut it off and stick a little glue. I don't want to bunch it up and make it look like an odd man. Now it's time to bring out some lights. There's just something about this season and lights I just absolutely love. Oop, forgot to, now that let's wait for it to be dry. Cut that little piece off. So now we're going to add lights. And these are wired. They're just fairy lights that you buy off Amazon. A little dab of hot glue to hold that one in place, I feel like. And then I'm just going to wrap them around. So now I'm going to take over the leftover lights, and just in the front half I'm going to staple them down. I could glue them, but I want to make sure that they don't, the glue would be bumpy and I don't really want the glue to be bumpy. So now I'm going to add some stars. Now this wouldn't have been enough to completely cover, so that's why I put the pipe cleaner down. And then we're just going to now work this around on the top half. Now it's time to cover up the base, and I just have one of the snow blankets. So now I'm going to take a bead of hot glue around the edge. While I had my staple gun out, I went ahead and stapled that over that just to be on the safe side. as best as I can without cutting my lights. I'm going to go back in and cut off my excess snow. Now my next step is I'm going to take some paint and I'm going to paint this. I know it's a step I could have done at first, but I'm kind of a work as you go and create as you go, so I'm just going to use Fusion's Picket Fence. Kind of like the lights, we are going to use some of the Fusion's transfer gel. And some glitter, the German glitter glass. Oh, I love the sparkly of the glitter glass. Oh my goodness. Now I am going to bring some up on the edge. Kind of blending the base in with this little snow going on here. Ooh, I love how it sparkles. And then some, of course, fell on there. That's perfect. So now I'm going to be adding some bottle brush trees. Kind of like this. I have this little 3 set I got going on here. And then we have a little Santa, and it'll make sense. This will make sense in a second, but we have to get him placed first. But I am going to take a minute because, as you see, my bases are just wood, and I don't want them to be so noticeable. So we're going to go ahead and paint those. And then I'll add a little bit of that glitter on top of that also. Okay, so now we're going to start gluing these to get on here. Healthy amount to go through that fake snow onto the bottom. So now Santa had a broken foot, which makes him perfect to be able to glue. Healthy amount. It's going to take a healthy amount to glue him on there. While the glue's still slightly wet, warm, to cover up that hot glue, the wonderful product of glitter. I think I'm going to add one more because I needed that smaller tree to glue him to the tree. Now this one is nothing, it's like one of the villages, so we're just going to glue that on behind there, and then I can add glitter to it because I don't need to paint. So now I have, this is all going to come together. I have this big tube of multiple different sizes of bulbs. Now I chose not to use vintage ones because 1, that they're breakable, and 2, I needed multiple sizes. And yeah, I didn't want to like be hot gluing and break vintage ones, so I was looking for something that was really lightweight and that had multiple colors to go on this, because Santa is going to be holding some balloon ornaments, and I need to, before gluing them on, I need to attach some string. For this one, I'm just going to be using this silver. Which store I got it at, I don't know. I went to lots of stores, so all I'm going to be doing is tying some knots onto these. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our string and our bulb, and we are going to hot glue it on And to play it safe, I'm going to wrap the string around into that hot glue. You needed enough string that Santa was holding it. Down. Really give it that 3D effect, you want to put it on the back side also. Now some of these I'm taking the little thingy off because I'm trying to hide the glue, which that's not the easiest. And how many strings can Santa hold? So that's what we're doing right here. So now how am I going to get Santa to hold all these strings? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist them. So now I have some little presents. I had bought this garland because I knew that it had presents and firecrackers and candy canes on it. And I think, I think that these will match down here. I think that would be super cute. I could change out the ribbon if I wanted to. Oh, right there. I think I have, look at silver, silver, perfect. So we'll go ahead and add, what would be Santa without some presents? Oh, I should have flipped that the other way, but it's too late now. My bow's kind of wrong way, but you know, take what you get. If we have a space, we have to fill it, right? And then somebody was selling these at an antique mall, and they're just little, they're littles. They're little beads, they're little peppermints. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I think that's kind of a coordinating color. Right? You cannot not fill the space up with something. Not when I've been collecting and collecting and collecting. There's even a tiny little present in it. Oh my goodness, that has to go on. Are my reds and my greens and everything matching? Probably not, but we'll take what we can get. I don't know. Oh, I might like that. I might like me some peppermint. Peppermint pinwheel. Oh my gosh, those are adorable. There's even a green one. I don't know if I have room for any more actually. Okay, so now we're moving on to our second one. First one's always the hardest. The first one is always the hardest. No, I've never made these. All I saw, I just screenshot some pictures, and then I just ran with my imagination about goodies to find throughout the year. Same thing. I still feel like I need to glue it because it's too movie. So yes, I just feel better stapling this down. For this one, we're going to be using, we're We're going to see if I can do a mid-century modern vibe. Everybody's taste is different, and that's the fun of creating. So I'm going to actually use this tinsel. So I'm going to start off with a dab of glue just to get it on there. This is not wired, so I'm going to have to glue it while I'm working on it every so often. I love the color of this. It's like a mix of silver and gold. So just going to work all the way around. Okay, I'm winding down, literally winding down. As I'm working, I'm just gluing a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to staple on, this is just the like fake tree pipe cleaner. We're going to go ahead and staple it on though. Really see that staple. There's just something about light, so you know, I'm going to do another set of fairy lights before covering up this part. Okay, go ahead and give it a little twist on the bottom. And then we're just going to wrap the lights around. I'm going to try to keep fluffing. I hope I don't squish too much of it. And like we did before, I'm going to staple them on. You got to be careful with fairy lights. They're actually pretty darn delicate. Beautiful once they're on, but you don't want to break that wire, that connection. So learning as we go, I'm going to go ahead. I'm still going to do snow on it to hide everything, but I'm going to trace one of the extras so I'm not cutting it on there. Well, I didn't think about that in the first place. I don't know. There's that. So, yeah. It's easier to cut it when it's not on there. But I did it, but there. Okay, now I actually picked these up earlier in the season. I'm not even remembering where, but I'm like, oh, I need that color. So I'm going to put that on all the way in the back. I have a rubber vintage deer. Love him. So I want to fit him on there. And then y'all know that I've been picking up these guys. So I think I want to put him there on there also, but I have to lean him kind of against the tree so he like will stay put. I was thinking about adding these rubber mushrooms in, but I don't know if I can get them to fit. It's not that big of space. Maybe. Oh, maybe he'll stay upright if I add it there. I want to make sure that when I'm gluing it, I'm putting it as far back but not hanging off as I can. And not centered. I don't want it to be centered, but pressing that down so it goes through the layers of this. Okay, now his four little feet are going to get glued on. Then again, I'm going to try to put him all the way to the edge that I can. That way I have room to put more stuff. So can I make these work? can I make these work? Because that would give him something to bump on against, so I do think I can. I had a viewer send me a set of these, and I actually got a set at an estate sale too, so I'm happy to use them. Yet again, trying to keep all point of contact, not hanging off too awful much. So I do have a few vintage bulbs. I'm not going to do like I did for Santa and have a whole balloon, but I do want to have a few of them hanging down because that's the whole point of this. I just use fish wire. It's the clearest stuff that I have. I'm just going to guess where it needs to be, and then I'll tie it in fish wire, fish line. Y'all knew what I meant, right? I kind of want them to stagger. Just tried to find what bulbs kind of match the color in here. I thought those matched pretty well. And then I have this little bell. Trying to keep the line so it's centered so it hangs straight. And then if we have an empty, we've got to fill it, right? So I have this fun retro. I'm going to go ahead and cut the wire off. That's holding it. It's got a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to put that there, and then I have another one of the little glass bulbs that will tie that all in together. Kind of looks like the mushrooms a little bit, but yep, they'll glue those in place. One more element, because you can kind of see the glue sticking out from here. It's just these fun little beads. Somebody probably had put them on their glue in the middle of his feet, and then I'm going to just attach him like he's all caught up in the tinsel. When I said caught up in the tinsel, it reminded me of like, oh, I could give the deer, like he got caught up in the tinsel. It's all about having fun. And then I think I'm going to put one more on top of here, and I think that'll really tie everything together. Not over till it's over. So I did go in my stash and find a few little bit more bulbs, just to tie in. There was empty holes. There was space yet, so have to fill that in, right? This is what makes my whole like, okay, I thrifted a lot of stuff, so I'm glad that I am getting to use it. But especially when it's off season, it's very reasonable. So that's the part that you like. Tying all these colors in together, all the vintage. Okay, my third and last one of this video. Can't give you all the goods all at once. So we're going to be doing a candy cane around this side. Oh, how fun. So these are just pipe cleaners again, just from Hobby Lobby. They are wired. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I'm going to start wrapping it around. And this one I kind of need it to bump up. Got it all wrapped. It's so fun. So now I think I'm going to wrap the bottom with some of this. So I think 2 of them will work. There we go. So it just wouldn't feel right if I didn't put some lights on this one. So of course, same process, going to put some lights on. Okay, we made it that far. Okay, I already pre-cut some of the snow out. After getting the snow on, I kind of felt like you could still see some of the wood. So I'm just going to add another pipe cleaner. Instead of glitter, I have these little snowflakes. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to put them where, oh, careful, they melt. Put them on the ground. I didn't think about them melting where there is not a light. Fortunately, I have not found a mic that lasts as long as I do in the workshop, so now I have to do voiceover. But look at Mr. and Mrs. Claus are perfect. The red and white, the white bottle brush tree. Oh, this is all a lot of red and whites on this piece. So, yeah, absolutely love it. I'm going to do a healthy amount of glue on the bottom. Just go ahead and attach it. I'm going to center the bottle brush tree right in the middle. I'm going to grab a couple more because the one is not enough, but I just wanted to make sure that we were centered. If you saw my Organize With Me, or you are not familiar with my Journey channel, where I showed you where I was organizing all my vintage Christmas supplies that I had picked up throughout the year, that is a must-see if you wonder how I am coming up with all these supplies. These were a must. I saw these in somebody's booth at an antique mall, and I'm like, oh, I have to have those, though they are glass. Unlike the ones I used previously on the first one that were plastic, I want to somehow use these on here. So I'm just going to have to tweak here and there, and we'll figure it out. But for right now, I'm just going to attach them with some of the fishing line. I picked up 4, but I'm only going to use 2 at the moment. Like I said, you just kind of have to work. I'm a work as you go. I visually have to see what I'm doing, and then I can tweak it from there. As of right now, I just absolutely love these little ornaments. With that red and white theme that I've got going on, I have this twine, which is more stringish, but I'm going to hang a couple of the ornaments, the plastic ornaments for Michael's, and attach them with this string so it looks like Mr. and Mrs. Claus have some balloons. Actually, I ended up tying the 2 ornaments together, still using 2 separate strings, but trying to really hone in on how to get these to look like balloons and keep them together, and try to use minimal hot glue to keep them on. So I just, first time I've ever tried to make balloons on a hoop before with ornaments, so I'll just keep on tweaking it until I like it. Much as I like the red and white theme going on here, I am going to add a couple more colors, and a couple more designs. So this is another little glass bulb that I bought last year. It's small. I am going to attach a string like it is a ornament balloon, just to add, I'm trying to fill in that space to make a balloon bouquet. And then I had a change of mind. That happens when you're doing a project. So I decided, okay, I'm going to take these ones off, the glass ones. I'm still going to use one at least. One of them's going to fit into this design. But yes, I went ahead and moved them. Boy, did I tie that on good. So I just kind of moved the ornament topper. Now I'm trying to weave that little hook out. Boy, it was on there good. I didn't want it to fall. So to still be able to use one of these, I'm just going to hang it in the middle. and that little string is a little bit on the slidey side, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to go ahead and straighten my string, kind of pull it kind of tight, and put a little bit of hot glue on Santa's hand to glue it on there, just making sure that everything's not crisscross, just nice and straight. I was inspired by the Tim Holtz candy canes, though there wasn't many in his pack. And when I was researching them on Amazon, it came up with this comp that was matching, and it was more, and there were a couple different sizes. So I went with the one that was a bigger pack. That's just how we all are, right? I love Tim Holtz's stuff, but you have to be cost efficient when you're doing this many projects this season. So I'm going to just add like candy canes just fell from the sky. Enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed creating today's video. I had a lot of fun. I finally, all that stash that I have been gathering up all year, waiting for this season, has finally happened. And I only have 3 projects underneath my belt. So yes, those were inspirations. I just, like I said, I just look, constantly am looking for inspiration. Had no idea how to create that balloon in the air with ornaments. Would love anybody's little tricks of how, like, I was trying not to show the hot glue, but you had to, like, always trying to find that edge that needs to be touching each other to keep it secure. Yeah, you know what? It is a DIY craft project, and probably I'll get a little bit better. I might do some later on in the season. So tell me which one of the items I made over. Did you think I was a little bit crazy? Just, I am a jump in. I just gather stuff up and I'm like, okay, I want to create this, and then I put my own little tweaks on it. So the hardest part is gathering all the supplies up and finding what you want to use. So anyway, give me a quick comment down below. Have I inspired you this season to get out that stash? Go still hunting, because now people are bringing out all those vintage Christmas, all that Christmas stuff is here, and you got to get it while you see it or it's gone. I tell you what. So anyway, thanks again so much for watching today's video. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out the channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, hit that subscription button along with the notification bell. Don't forget that I have a second channel, GingerChickRehab The Journey, where I take you thrifting with me. A lot of the stuff came from auctions, and so that's where you're going to see our auctions over there on the Journey channel. So make sure you pop over there and subscribe to that channel so you know when we upload a new video there also. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!